Hey everyone, it's Daryl from Houseplant Journal, and today I'm here in California, and if you see all these air plants behind me, it's because I'm here visiting Josh.
Hey,
from Airplant Man.
Great to meet you, Daryl.
Great to meet you too. Yeah, it's cool to connect in person because we connected earlier, probably about 2 years ago,
a couple
right?
years back, yeah.
And yes, you gifted me one of your amazing air plant stands. And I'll probably put a little video here of like the old time lapse I did of putting them on there.
That was so cool to see. It's great to meet plant people in real life.
Yeah, for sure. And so we're going to take a quick tour of Josh's amazing work studio. But first, let's go have a seat. You can sit up a tad a little bit so that you're, my head is not way bigger than yours.
Got it. We should lean forward a little. That's
cool. Thanks for welcoming me to your place here. And why don't you just tell us a little bit about Airplant Man and how you got started with air plants?
Sure, yeah. It's been a long time now. I would say maybe 10, 15 years ago. I first saw them in a nursery and just so blown away by how unique they look.
Yeah.
And then when I found out they needed no soil and looked like aliens, and it was, I think, a Caput Medusae I saw first, and I'm just like, I need this.
Yes.
And when I would kind of move, I found the heavy soil houseplant for the hardest part.
Yeah.
Like
especially after you water. It's
totally,
like a big jug of water. Almost,
it was getting stressful. So the air plants were an amazing solution where you could just kind of put all your collection in a box and go to the next place. And the obsession just grew and grew. I'm a landscape architect, and so I love all plants. I don't just love air plants, but kind of had this obsession with them for so long, and really wanted to elevate the way they were displayed, kind of showcase how beautiful and special and unique they were, and make it easy to care for them. And so the Airplant Man product line kind of evolved out of some custom projects, and thought, wouldn't it be cool to share this with everyone? And we have a web shop. We ship all over the world. We do all sorts of custom stuff as well, and just a fun creative challenge to do. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, nice. And so, I guess we're going to take a walk around your studio here.
Awesome.
And you can tell us about some of your most prized air plants, maybe some of the ones that are obviously not for sale.
Yes, this is the private. I always tell people when they come by to buy plants, make sure I'm not here because I love all of them too much.
Too much. It's like, I'm sorry, I can't let this one go.
Exactly. So I have my assistants make sure that we do send them out as well.
Cool, okay. Yeah, all right, so why don't we take a walk?
Let's do it. Awesome.
All right, so basically, right now we are here in your backyard, and this is a beautifully shaded area with a big tree up here, and so it's a small open space, but I think good part sun lighting back here, basically. Yeah,
we get nice mixed bright light, but not too strong. And when we first came, it's not a huge space, so we kind of tried to clear it out as much as possible, just have gravel. And we're always doing special projects, moving things around, so flexible use back here was really important. That said, we put up some hanging wires, so anything above that's not on the ground is good, and on the walls. So we've got some really happy specimens of Lantia in our rings on the wall, and then our new lantern product. I'm sorry you're not here at night. It looks wild. There's all sorts of shadows and stuff.
Why don't we first take a look at what you're talking about, this lantern product.
Yeah.
This thing right above our heads here. Look at this thing. This is amazing. There is an internally built-in mister that will mist these air plants.
Yeah, so at night you get these really neat rings, shadows, and the plant silhouettes. So it's got quite a magical feeling. And then we tried to build in some misters to see what kind of effect that might give.
Let's see if I can get a shot of the
right light. Yeah, I think
the sun shining through, and you can actually see the misters like from the inside blowing outwards towards all the air plants around it.
Yeah, so we kind of direct it in a few different ways, and it's nice on a hot day as well for humans to sit back here. It kind of cools things down a bit as well.
So it's basically like a series of rings attached by wires.
Correct.
And then like little
we used
a kind of terraced slope like this.
Yeah, it's we use the same powder coated aluminum that we use for our frames, so it's really lightweight and waterproof. And Tillandsia need to get wet and dry a lot, so we always try to design with ways that the container can handle that.
Yeah.
And so we use the same thing, just a series of rings, and you can string them in different ways. And we're still experimenting with all the possibilities.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
And
oh, I can feel the mist now.
right,
We're getting into it.
Yeah, there's that moment. There's something about Tillandsia in the mist that is just the most magical moment. It's when they're most happy. We can make them survive indoors for long periods of time and do okay with soaking and other techniques, but outside, fresh air, mist, drying and wet, that's mist, sort of Tillandsia heaven. Our kind of one of our first products was the Airplant frame.
Mm-hmm.
So this is that powder coated aluminum. We've got a little notch on the back, so you can just hang it on the wall. And these are our little tabletop feet. I found I wasn't always wanting to put a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
And so the feet give you total flexibility. And so you just secure the plants through this stainless steel cable mesh that we use. And it's so easy to kind of create a vertical garden without soil, making it so much more flexible. If you want to change a plant, you can just slide it out, slide it in. Their natural leaf shape holds them in place. There's no other attachment method used. And it's fun with the feet. You can also go horizontal.
Yeah, this would be a beautiful centerpiece on a table next to a window, preferably.
Yes, yes.
But
well, another technique, though, is because these are so light and easy to move around, if you have a really good bright spot and a dark spot,
you can move them.
The rotation. It's all about the rotation.
It's like, there's times for display and there's time for growth.
Yeah, totally, exactly. And our other kind of early product was the vessel. And so these are kind of this clean tube steel body. And then you can just slide your plant out while holding this waterproof wire when it's time for watering. Give it a dunk. And when it's done, you can just slide it right back in. And what I like about these is how they kind of just hover above the base to give you a hint that this plant is special. It's growing completely out of it.
It is not just on a pedestal, it's floating above the pedestal.
Just floating. So like a sculpture, because they have the sculptural quality, trying to evoke that feeling. And my latest obsession I was just telling you about are these crazy things. So we love Kokodama, thought they were beautiful, eye-catching form of ways to display plants, but it's pretty hard to keep live moss. Yeah. And so, looking at the other techniques, we wanted something that would be natural and have a nice texture, but remain a little more similar, although a little bit changing. Yeah. And then as we researched wool, learned how breathable and kind of what a good surfaces for growing for plants. And so we kind of been hand making these, experimenting with different techniques and mixes, and I've been mostly using Ripsalis and their allies and varieties, and learning about the jungle cacti. I love Tillandsia, but it's so great to learn about other epiphytes as well. And so
and of course finding new ways to style them, right, and elevate their individual characteristics.
That's the idea, to showcase how beautiful Ripsalis can be as a sculptural specimen as well. And I was telling you about my staghorn acquisition.
Staghorn.
And so I had an amazing Craigslist find. Just had to drive a couple hours and found someone looking for a good home for their old staghorn. And so I'm excited to kind of...
that guy looks at least a decade old or something.
He's old.
If you have that many pups on it.
I think she said maybe 20-some years.
Wow, beautiful.
So we're excited to... find a few ways to display them as well.
Nice.
And I was showing you also my both exciting and sad moment of somewhat rare, at least in cultivation, the blooming tectorum.
So this wall here, I see several tectorums. The size is like, if you look at the size of my hand versus these guys. But tell us a bit more why you say this is a sad moment for the tectorum flowering, because this is the first time I have ever seen a tectorum in flower. Yeah. But tell us what happens after Airplant flowers.
Well, so there's the cycle of life. When the plant kind of decides to bloom, it sends up an inflorescence, a flower spike, and then individual flowers will come out from it over a period of a few weeks to a month or so, and you can actually see on this guy over here some actual flowers. Yeah. So those are the blooms. We're just in the spike stage, but after it's done blooming, seed can be produced, but often the mother plant, the one that bloomed, will die, and pups, offsets will form at the base for the next generation. So kind of means, like an agave or other plants, you're kind of ruining the perfect form.
Right. It's the end of this particular
Yes.
tectorum's life.
Yes. Hopefully we'll get many more new beautiful tectorums, but yeah, this is my, large tectorums are a little bit hard to come by and quite pricey. So this is my don't touch.
Yeah.
I love it though. And so
Cool.
can show you. You did get me thinking. So you're in Ontario, or no?
Ontario, Toronto, Canada.
I can't believe you get the plants to go so well inside.
Well,
it's houseplants, yeah.
It's houseplants, and it's all about making sure that I'm giving it the widest. I always say widest possible view of the sky means like all these nice patches of indirect light, right?
Right.
And
Yep.
but inside we're essentially like a little cave because look,
Yeah.
if we look at the structure,
Totally.
right? Like the door,
Yep.
all the other walls are opaque.
Yep.
So
Yep.
the best you can do is
Yep.
right up against the window, right?
Yeah, and it's the humidity air thing too that I think is tough.
A lot of people also talk. We always talk about the winter humidity thing, but I realized I've now looked at different furnaces around my homes, and in Canada we tend to actually put a humidifier. Like there's humidifiers right on the furnace.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
That's huge because that's, I think, a tough one.
yeah, it is tough because then otherwise you're going to be constantly having to compensate for the transpiration, right?
Totally, yeah. It's
And air plants too, especially because then you get those brown tips and
it's hard, it's hard. Cool. So
let's go take a look. You want to show me this corner, the Monstera.
So I recently got a cutting that I just rooted in this pot, and I've kind of I've noticed Monstera around. It kind of grows outdoors here in Los Angeles, and then I have to say it was sort of like Instagram, and those beautiful photos with the white backdrops make me be like, all right, I need to get one, and I'm enjoying it. I've got it sort of hiding in the corner here, and got a new leaf just came out. I'm pretty excited.
Beautiful.
So
when it's in such a warm climate and getting this nice, see right here, okay, let's turn around and look. We're basically in the shade of some trees. Sun will probably cross at some point, like through here somewhere, a couple hours, but mostly going to be shaded. And so I can see here you got like the maximum, I would say, level of Monstera fenestrations, which is like you got midrib and secondary midrib.
Yeah.
Right? I think.
So the sun makes more holes because they don't need that much, or they don't want that much sun
Well,
exposed, maybe?
It was interesting because the research has actually shown that it's based on like a sort of, the idea is like if you make a net with bigger holes, you cover more surface area even though you let things more through, but like at least
Fascinating.
So they were saying that the sun flecks that come through like a tree like this. Because of that, as the Monstera grows up, it knows that it's getting higher into the tree. So it'll kind of cast its net bigger, knowing that it's going to catch more.
Get more. That's fascinating.
And so it kind of goes against the theory of thinking that, it's because of rain coming through, right?
Right.
Because, I mean, there are other plants that don't have any fenestrations, right?
Totally.
But
what a fascinating evolution, huh?
Yeah. And that's why the first few leaves on a juvenile plant will be solid,
right?
Because it knows that it's way at the bottom of the tree anyway, right? It'll and as it goes up a tree, the next leaf becomes more and more fenestrated.
And is that helping like the leaves below get light through the leaves?
That's interesting. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but
hard to know exactly what they're intending, but that's fascinating.
Yeah, if only we could ask the plant,
right? You just have to figure out what millions of years of evolution
why are you
helped it learn. And then I've killed so many, but I'm trying another pitcher plant back in there, and it's actually doing all right with so much protection. It's doing okay. That's a tough one. I love tough, hardy, foolproof plants, but I can't help but always try new things. And I'm taking a huge leap, and I ordered a lycopodium.
Okay.
Quercia sporosa. It's arriving today. It's the first time I've ordered like anything but Tillandsia online.
Interesting.
It needs high humidity. It's totally not going to like it in LA, but I'm going to try and baby this thing. It's going to be my version of a house plant, I guess. Yeah. But in general, if you have a temperate climate like this, plants love being outside if you can kind of
Yeah.
give them fresh air. What we found with Tillandsia, though, our one trick for indoors is it's all about the soak. We
Yes.
see a lot of like, oh, I missed it a tiny bit. It's happy for a month. No, it's I say weekly. Can be a little. It can be 10 days, but and then a multi-hour soak is the other thing. A lot of people don't often do.
Right.
If you're regularly watering it, you can do that less. But if you do the once a week, overnight is when I usually do it. I'll put it in before bed, take it out in the morning.
Yeah.
People don't realize they can handle that much, but
Yeah.
it really, really rehydrates it and it helps it tolerate.
But again, of course, making sure that it's somewhere where it can get the light, right? Because
Yes.
I always talk about the
Yes.
thing is we talk a lot about
Yeah.
watering techniques.
Yeah.
But you know, people like us who are experienced, we know
Right.
that
Sure.
it's a little star, an asterisk that says, okay, assuming you're getting the right light.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
you know, we put one of these displays on
Sure.
a mantle far from the window.
Sure.
Even when we soak and we think we follow the instructions,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the plant's not even doing its work, right?
It's yeah. There's so many environmental conditions. I see how many tips you give, and I have to do the same. It's hard because there's so many variables. So you're
Yeah.
always hitting a general thing. But and then being able to dry out quickly afterwards
Yes,
is really
for sure.
important. So that
And that's why you say here your air plants do well is outside airflow, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. But I've had people in New York, Canada, Sweden
Yeah.
show me years later their happy plant, and I think it's that deep watering and good light somewhere near a window.
Yep.
We will sometimes use these in dark places, but it's always in a temporary
Yeah.
situation.
So you also can do the rotating strategy.
Yeah, so we maintain in various hotels and offices around LA installations, and invariably the client wants to put the plants in the darkest, least able to water.
Oh, let's give this corner some life.
And so what the nice thing about Tillandsia is they're so lightweight that we kind of perfected the rotation thing. So we
Okay,
found
nice.
for a week, 2 weeks, they're fine in not a great spot. As long as they get to come back, get really good light and air,
Yeah.
they bounce right back.
I wonder if there's a way you could maybe set up almost kind of like a phone recharging station,
Yes.
but it's like just a grow light, and then you put them under there.
That's a really fun idea.
Maybe.
I've been thinking about stuff along that lines a lot. Sometimes we get to do built-in lighting and irrigation. And
Oh, okay,
We'll
beautiful.
come back years later. The plants, no one's touched them, and they look great.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, yeah.
It's, so that makes it easy. But every project's a
Yeah.
new challenge. We like that, and we did. I think one of the most evolved fun things was a mobile, double-sided screen wall with built-in irrigation, lighting, and misting.
Wow,
And so
that
these
sounds
were
like a
to
real.
divide a space on a rooftop, no less, in really hot condition. And
Okay.
so the plants actually thrived. They liked all that sun as long as they also got watered.
Yep.
And they did events, so they would wheel these things around.
Yeah,
It
so
was-
for the events, they would be there to impress people.
Yep.
But then during the off time,
Yep.
it would be the plants. You know, I always say
Yep.
it's the plants going to work. They have to do their photosynthesis, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
They're doing work too. It's a fun thing working with plants for sure.
Nice, cool. All right, so thank you, Josh, so much for this plant tour of your studio space and
My pleasure.
showing me all these wonderful creations that you got. It's like I really appreciate all the creativity that goes into elevating the plant itself.
Oh, thank you.
And it's just beautiful to see like the creativity going crazy in this studio space here.
Oh, thank you so much. It was really great to meet you as well. And, thanks for getting to check it all out.
Yeah. And so anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next one. This is Josh Rosen from Airplant Man. And what's your website and how we can contact you?
Airplantman.com, on Instagram at airplantman, just like it sounds. And we love air plants and taking beautiful photos of them. So check it out.
Nice. All right, I'm Daryl. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.